Hello, city. Hello, world, and welcome to another installation of the Gospel Jazz Connection. Wow. Okay, so here we are, Friday, drive time in the city. I got all my peoples in the studio with me, and we've got a couple that's going to join us on the phone in a few seconds. But we've got a great conversation for you today. This is the Gospel Jazz Connection, and for those that are just wondering what it is that we actually do, well, we bring up conversations, we bring up issues, we bring up movements. We talk about a whole lot of stuff. But you know what? I have a group of young ladies that are well versed in life, in education, in experiences that bring to you working solutions. So at the end of the day, you take from that conversation what works for you, you put it in your style, and you make it you, and you make it work for you. And then in the background, you hear that smooth jazz that soothes the savage beast. So no matter what you're going through right now on this Friday, you can just let go and let God. So this is Brian Culberson. And so that's who we're going to be feeling it up with today on the musical tasting machine. I think he's appearing tomorrow. No, there's Eric Benet tonight, I think, on the Long Beach Jazz Festival. Miss Sam won't know about that, but you got a plethora of heavyweights at the Long Beach Jazz Festival, about the 35th or something like that. But Miss Sam will be talking about that a little later on. The ladies get involved with that one there. And we got an interesting conversation with discussion. Meantime, in between time, I'm D Nice. And this is what we do each and every week. So let's meet the young ladies that are in charge of taking this to another level. Okay, so let me pull the music down a little bit so we can not miss a single thing with these young ladies, because they have so much that they do. All right, this first young lady coming on my left could be to your right, depending on what you're looking at and how you're looking at it. But this young lady has been around for a long time, starting in the corporate world. She's ran banking institutions. She does corporate training. She stepped out on her own and decided she's making too much money for them folks, and she needs to keep a little for herself. So that's what she endeavored to do. She's a motivational speaker. She's an author, a major author of major books. One of her top, Loving Yourself First, A Woman's Guide. And every man should read it too, because you got to know what makes that other half work. He says, happy wife or happy girlfriend, happy life. So let's get with it, guys. But this young lady's a mother, a grandmother. She is a life coach. And everything that goes in between that, she has time to come and sit down with us and give you some information on how to get your life together. Here on the Gospel Jazz Connection, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Miss Linda Coleman Willis. Linda, how are you, young lady? How are you?
Fantastic, D, and excited to be here and excited about the topic tonight.
Yeah, we got a good one for you. You know, everybody was over there with these different looks. And thank God we have everybody check their weapons in at the front gate, because I would have probably been not here right now. They're looking at me like, what did you come up with this topic for? But you're going to find out it's going to be a relevant topic and something we go with every day. So I look forward to hearing the ladies' version of it, okay? So thank you very much. Let's move over to this other young lady. And she just, you know what? Look at her. She just got her hand under her head. She's just got to look like, okay, you know what? Bring it to me if you want to. Okay, I got something to say. Okay, I got something for you. All right, this young lady, she left. One person would say the East Coast. I call it somewhere one of the top coast. We're talking about that East Coast, New York area. And this young lady is a highly touted graduate from the school that turns out fashion designers, and that's what she did. She's worked with major magazines. She's worked with major companies in that film venture, okay? And when I say film venture, everything has a reel to it. And at the end of the day, you've got to be able to present your reel in life. in her reel in life, she wanted it to look like this. She's good and accomplished and a graduate in fashion design and worked in that field. But her reel, she wanted it to be in what drove her passion, which is music. So she uprooted herself from all that she knew and decided to come out to the West Coast. And some people say the best coast, but it depends on what side of the coin you look at it. And so she's out here doing the music. She's got a manager. That's one step in doing her thing. She's going to tell you about an upcoming event that she has out here where she's going to be able to let you see what she does. Totally unique, and unique sound, unique look. She's got her guitars out there. She's working with them too, so she'll be able to take it to another level. So this young lady, I'm watching her develop in front of our very eyes, but she's the younger person on the team. Joining us, she also has a radio show and a television show like Linda does too. They join us on TV too. So I'm telling you, we're bringing top people in here that know what they're talking about. So help me welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Von True.
Hi.
What's going on with you, girl?
Everything.
I see you got that look on your face like, you know what?
Everything.
Yeah, I got something for you. Okay, bring that question you got today over to me, and I'm going to tell you what I feel about it. Okay, I look forward to because you know, you got a lot going on.
I shot a music video close to you last night too.
That's what you were saying. That's what you were saying. Okay, I got to see that. Yeah, she's doing her own thing. This one lady that she doesn't wait for somebody else to do it for her. When she has her mind set on something, she goes out there and makes it happen. And you got to respect that from a young girl because she's only in her early 20s. Okay, and that's rare to find somebody on the ball like that. So I appreciate that. Thank you for coming in, and we're going to hear more about your comments in a minute on the topic. Okay, now this young lady here, she's no stranger to entertainment. We've been doing the show for almost a quarter century. We've been doing this one here in the organization. She works with Women of Prominence, a women's organization. This lady's been in the aerospace field to where she does her thing in aerospace. Most recently, she's been able to work with new recruits coming into the aerospace world and help them get their feet wet on a chance to make big money after they get out of college and put their money where their mouth is, and vice versa. Not only doing that, when she's involved with several organizations within that big technological corporation of aerospace, African American Task Force, their company sponsors some of the major concerts and stuff that go on here in Southern California and around the country. And so she's also working with one of her, what she likes to call muckety mucks, the ones that are the suit and ties at the top. And one of them, Sandra Evans, that we know of her. And shout out to her. And they work together doing some things. And Sandra's doing some heavy things with kids too. So, and in the film industry. So that's a great thing to be able to touch shoulders with people like that. Greatness follows greatness. And so we followed her around in the different endeavors she's been doing, and she followed us over here to the Gospel Jazz Connection. So ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Miss M. Miss M, what's going on with you?
Everything. It's a busy weekend.
I know. You're getting ready to go to a concert this weekend that your company's doing. You know, another one is the major concert that you guys sponsor. What's that concert you guys are doing?
Oh, I'm doing the Long Beach Jazz Festival both Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Take me with you.
I looked at them tickets. Them tickets are some expensive tickets. Okay, that's some expensive.
They are.
Yeah, that's some expensive real estate this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the cabanas and all that carrying on. Okay, come on now. All right, come on now.
Yeah, the lifestyle.
I looked at that ticket. And I'm like, you know what? I'm glad to hear about this on the radio or on the news.
I'll come back next week and tell you all about it.
Yeah, I know you are. Yeah, you guys are just going to have to, lift me up.
Carry your water.
You got to love that camaraderie. I love it. All right, so we're all geared up and ready to go. We've been introduced, and we've got a lovely couple going to join us on the half of the hour, and they're going to come in and they're going to bring in their involvement with our background, with our history and the movement to carry it and keep the legacy alive, working with Nick Cannon and others like that that are ambassadors for that brand, freedom, let freedom ring. And so we'll be talking to Lisa and Phil Brown in a few by phone. So meantime, between time, we're going to kick it off here at the Gospel Jazz Connection. And ladies, the question is, now this is a concern. It's not really a question, it's a concern. I want to know if you're with your boyfriend, your significant other, whatever you want to call it, and they don't happen to be in the industry. Let's say, for example, Vaughn, you're in the music industry and you're doing your filming and you're doing this when you're an actress and all that stuff, and you find a square, an L7 straight out. He may have some things going on, but he may be a egghead. He's not even involved in your type of business. We want to find out, where can we draw the line of involvement? Because if he's not in the industry, but you guys are together, if he wants to be a part of supporting you and he wants to get involved with what you do, or at least find out how you do what you do, where's the point of crossing the line to where he's no longer a support, but then he becomes a busybody? Okay, he or she in a relationship. So we want to find out what that looks like in
Like
your
doing
book.
too much? Like busybody doing too much?
Doing too much in your industry. We're talking about people that are not even in your industry. I mean, if you're in the same industry, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're doing the same thing. But we're talking about somebody who's not even in the same industry as you. Would you feel anyway less because he's not even involved in it? Because he don't care if you're out there all night doing a music video. He don't care what you're doing or whatever else. He don't even ask about it. I mean, how does that look? See, there's a lot of ways this thing could go. Okay? He trusts you. You're in a relationship. He trusts you. So he's not going to be wondering what you've been doing out at 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. He's not. You come back to him. So that ain't even a trip. Okay? But I'm just saying, would that, after time and time again, would that kind of make you feel like
that
he
would
doesn't?
make me question his focus.
Oh,
like, where
okay.
you at with it?
Okay. The conversation has started. Kick it off.
Saying,
Okay.
Like, where you at with it? Like, if you care about me and you want to be with me, you would support what I'm going after in life, period. But, I mean, I won't suggest you do too much, but at the same time, at least be there for me. Be understanding. Want to know more about what I'm doing, because that energy is also going to project on you at the end of the day, because we are together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some couples keep it separate. I'm not that type of couple.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I've been on and off with somebody for like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
They have a family business they're in line to run. They've been really, head on about that, and that's important to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, well, I'm chasing my dream. This is important to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they have an understanding. They're now coming on board with like being supportive and being more open to what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And, if they want to come on like red carpets with me, fine, we can do that. Just don't do too much. Know your standards and boundaries. It's a delicate balance. I feel overall it's a very delicate balance. You got to know your partner to the T, especially if you're going to allow them to be out 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then they doing whatever, and things can get messy, things can get tricky. It's a tricky industry,
right? So
it's just like, at the same time, just I like I said, it's a delicate balance. I would want you to be there for me, but don't do too much. Like, it's my show, don't make it your show at the end of the day,
right.
But like, don't just go off and for your business thing. Like, I'm gonna be there and support you for your business meetings as much as I possibly can, but don't go off and we don't connect for like 3 days, and I'm just like, I'll be like, what's that about? You know what I mean? Like, that's unacceptable.
Right.
For real. Especially if we in it together.
Right.
And it's whole different. I'm young and I don't have kids.
Right,
yet.
gotcha. Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's whole different when you have kids, you're married and everything like that. And if you want to grow to that level, that there's a level of dissonance that would cause if I'm here and you there and we ain't really connecting how we need to be connected in a relationship. That takes it to a whole nother subject. So I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Right. Okay, let's go down to the other end of the spectrum here, to Linda. You're a Monica. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Linda. Okay.
Okay.
I like what you said. What you said made sense from a young woman's perspective, and even on your television show, which addresses the issue of the conversation between the baby boomers and millennials. That was a good one right there. That was an example right there because she came from the other end of the spectrum. Yeah. You're a married woman. You just said earlier you've been in there for 25 years. So okay, so that's going to be very interesting to hear what your vernacular is on that.
Okay, but I wasn't always a married woman.
Well, no, 25 years. Okay.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is he got the same woman I've always been. So my thing is that you have to know yourself because what you want. Some people want that closeness consistently.
Right.
Even as a young woman, my first career, remember, was in real estate.
Yeah.
As I was busy all of the time. So it had to be someone who understood that I was self-employed basically, and the only way I get paid is to close the deal.
Right.
So I had to have someone who, if they were working from 9 to 5, they had to understand that I wasn't 9 to 5er.
Right, right.
So you have to work out those issues. Everybody can't take that. No. It's not for everybody.
Right.
Now, getting back to being married 25 years and settled, and my husband and I have different occupations. He's a techie, 100. He was a systems engineer for Pac Bell AT&T for a lot of years. Took his early retirement, started his own business. I was in the real estate finance field, took myself into the speaking, training, coaching field. And so those are opposites. I call on him for my technical needs, but what we do is we come together on the things that we are alike, like our values, what we love to do. We love Thai food, you know. So we find, So we love our family. We're very, 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 very family oriented.
Right.
I like to travel. He doesn't. So I get with my sisters and my cousins, and we went on a cruise, a 7-day cruise. He stayed here. And I think I mentioned earlier that I left home for a year to work for the Obama campaign, and I'm not exactly sure if he wanted me to go, but he didn't stop me from going.
Right.
He worked with it. So I think you have to know yourself, know where your limits are, she knows what she wants. So that's the kind of man that she should want to bring into her life. If he's clingy and he has to have her know her every move, and, and they show up on the red carpet and he takes over, she already said that's not going to work.
Right. Gotcha.
So she knows her boundaries. She knows the boundaries. So she has to have a very secure man. He has to be secure in himself, in what he's doing, and he has to be secure in the fact that she's taking care of business, real business, not play business.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So I think you really have to know yourself, because I'm sure every woman out there has a different standard for this, and every man probably have a different standard for this. For my husband and I, because we can share in the things that we really value, and a lot of our time is spent with our grandchildren. Children, they're okay, but grandchildren have a special place in your heart, you know. So they just love you. They love you, and little things make them happy. You know, little bitty things make them happy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what my viewpoint. I dated during my young years. I dated a professional athlete. That didn't work. I dated a doctor. That didn't work. You know, I dated professionals, airline pilot. That worked really nice, because he took me all over the world. But when we weren't traveling, didn't work as well. So you get to know. She knows, and that's good. Von True, you know this. You know this is important to me, and he's allowing that to be important to him, and this to be important to you, and you can still work it out. I think it's a negotiation.
Yeah, I like that you said negotiation, because that's what it is. I mean, a relationship is negotiation. And if you're not good at negotiation, then guess what? You're going to get lost. Whether you get fired lost, or you just lose yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you've got to know your limitations, but so far I'm following you guys on both sides, because like I said, I'm the kind of cat that I support whoever I'm with. You know what I'm saying? I don't care to the fullest. That's what I do. But I don't come to the point to where I become needy. I want to be able to know that, because psychologically here's where I'm at. If we're together, then we got one pocket. Whether the money's coming in from your way or my way, is coming into one pocket, that household. Okay, and so if I can enhance bringing money in to the farm from my way and help you tighten up your game to where people are not stealing from you, especially the industry. And they're not stealing from you too, because I'm going to learn the business. If I don't go into it, I'm going to know who's shifty. I'm going to be able to say that doesn't look right. That doesn't, the way they wrote this contract up looks shady. I'm going to be able to say something about it because I'm going to find out what it takes to make it right. That's where I'll get involved with it, is back behind the scenes and telling you what's going on, okay? Now I see Ms. M is shaking her head, so I'm going to go over here and see what's going on. Ms. M, what's going on with it? Yeah. All right, so, and?
If I'm married to, say, a top-notch actor or singer out there making bank, he's going to have his bank account.
Right.
I'm going to have my bank account.
No, I got that.
These
I got
are
that.
two separate entities here.
Right.
And like Linda was saying, we can come together on family. We can come together and travel and do things together. Yes, I'll be there showing up at the red carpet.
Right, right.
I'll do that. I'll be your eye candy.
I got
I can do that.
got
And
you.
if I see something shady going on at some of the things you got going on, of course I'm going to let you know about it. I'm going to say, well, watch him or watch her. But as far as reading your contract, no, that's not my lane. As far as doing all your accounting for your finances and all of that, that's not my lane. That's why you're making all this money so you can hire people to do that, and I expect you to keep an eye on them and make sure that your money is right.
Okay, granted, but you can't watch everybody. Okay.
That's why you hire people.
But wait a second. Okay, now wait a second. Okay, look, okay, let's be realistic. Me and you got a business that we run together. I have a studio, and we put money into it, a lot of money into the studio.
Right.
And so, before we did this one here, when we were with The Beat, and we with Dominic DePrimo, Street Science, and all the places we did video shoots for pastors and churches and whatever. Now, many a time, okay, although you had your money and I had my money, we didn't call it any money, but when it came down to video shoots or whatever, where I was taking the equipment out, assigning it out from the studio, that was our money, because that's a business expense.
Exactly.
Okay, so when these people would write me a check on the last day, and you would say, okay, hold on, and you would go down to the bank that it was drawn upon and try to cash a check, and it didn't work, you would be on the phone telling me not to take the equipment out.
Exactly, but see, that's my money because I'm working in the
Okay,
business
so if it
with
was
you.
my money, you wouldn't have done that.
I'm working in the business with you. We have a joint partnership in audio,
Okay, well, okay,
video,
let's go back for a second now.
So
Okay.
if you don't get paid, that means I don't get paid.
Okay, but say for example, those were my cameras doing on my time, and I just asked you to come and just kind of batch my back. You wouldn't have the same work ethics there because it was my gig and it wasn't booked through the office. If I was just doing something, Linda asked me to do
If
something.
you ask me to come down there and watch your back that way, I'm not going to tell you no.
But
the
okay,
best
would you
I
watch
can.
my back?
But automatically, no, I'm not. That's not my lane.
Wow.
Well, Dee,
right.
the experts say the number one reason relationships break up is money, and
Yes.
the second one is infidelity.
Yes.
I was just about to say
Yeah,
that.
money and
Yes.
infidelity.
Right.
And I didn't have the money, but in the ones I said I dated, that it was always infidelity. But
Yes.
this is how my husband and I are both in business for ourselves. We're independent business owners.
Right.
And I was telling Monica, he has a business account. I have a business account.
Exactly.
And we have our account.
Right.
And our account is where our money run through. I can't dictate what happens in his business. He
Exactly.
don't dictate what happens in mine.
Right.
Not that I'm not aware of, because we file taxes.
Right.
And that's, and we have an accountant.
Right.
So I'm aware, but that's a lane.
Yes.
And this is a lane. I'm just telling you how we do it.
Right. No, I got
This
you.
is a lane over here, and then this is our lane. And we both have access. I don't have access to his business account. He don't have access
But
to
if you
mine.
saw something shady.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. But I have information because everything comes in.
Right.
Yeah, so I know what's going on. He know what's going on. But I have never taken anything or put anything in over there, or he taken anything or put in. We put what we share, we put in down here.
No, I
so
got
it
that.
it keeps things moving, because there may be a time where his business is up here and mine is down here, and maybe a time when mine is up here and his down there, and it's okay.
No, I got that. But I'm just. But if you say, okay, so there's 3 lanes. In other words,
It's
Yeah.
three
but if you
lanes.
saw something funky going in either one of the 3 lanes, would you tell him about something funky going in his
Well,
lane?
I would at least ask him. Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I would
Yeah.
mention it. I would mention it because I don't know. his business is so different from mine, and my business is so different from his. So what he does for me is supporting me
Right.
more than the business. What I do is support him more than the business, because his business is all this techie stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So I can understand, but I can understand if you guys are in business together. That I don't think that would work for my husband and myself to be in business together. We tried to share an office space together, and that didn't work. 'Cause I like quiet, and he likes music playing all the time. You know, we were different. Our everything. So we had to. That didn't work when we first started out. That didn't even work. So we keep it.
You have to learn to balance all of that out, because you are in two separate categories.
Well, you have to figure out though what works for you. If that worked for you, you know, his having hands, you know. But that simply, we were two full-grown people. I was very capable of taking care of me. He was capable of taking care of him. So we didn't come together. It was, I'm not going to say it was business, but we looked at how we were going to come together and what we were going to come to do. I sold my house. We were living in the house he had. So, you know, I had my house. He had his house. So it wasn't like we were starting out like, you know, when you're really young and you're struggling.
That's
we were
true.
both pretty successful in what we were doing.
That's true.
And
But
I think that made a difference.
Like I was saying earlier, if I was married to like a rapper or something like that, and he's got all these business contracts in the music industry, I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
So I know about contracts from the aerospace industry, but that's totally different. So
you need an
I'd be
attorney for contracts.
that's why you hire people to take care of those things.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I could really screw him up because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. You may see some sketchy stuff going on. You want to mention it. You want to ask about it. You want to advise.
Yeah, that's
but you
okay.
are not the primary advisor.
I got
to
you.
that.
But at least see how much is so much. There's some people that wouldn't even mention it. They'd be like, I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's his lane, and leave it alone. That's not even fair along that line, though. If you see something shady going on even in my lane, at least pull my coat to it and say, I don't know what that looks like, but it may be a little something shady over here. You know, you might
If
want
I'm
to check.
with you and I care about you, that's going to happen regardless because I care about you.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
You
but
know?
then the thing is, well, how much? And then if he says, "What you all in my business for?" That's my business, whatever. Then
Oh, well,
see,
you learn your lesson.
that, you see what I'm saying? So see, we're talking to people out there that are going through.
Totally out of your
Yeah.
Remember what we said.
Bye.
Remember what we said. You have to negotiate it. 'cause
Yeah.
There's not one size fit all here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you heard Von True, you heard Miss M, you
Right.
heard me, and it was all a little bit different
Right.
of how we're handling.
How you handle the business.
How we handle the business.
Right.
Now, with my husband, has taken me to some events,
Mm-hmm.
and we've come home and been able to talk. I've been able to fill him in on some people. He's like, oh yeah, you know,
Right,
da,
right.
da, da, da. Just heads up,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
Because I kind of. He kind of take people at face value,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I kind of look a little deeper, a little bit further under.
Right.
And he deals with mostly men, and they're not African American,
Right,
which
right,
still
right.
wouldn't matter. But I'm just saying, sometimes I have to help him understand the character of some people.
Yeah.
But
Right.
that's just like
Par for
giving-
the course.
Yeah,
Right. No, I got you. I
but
got
I
you.
still don't tell him what decision to make
make.
once he knows.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
saying, you know, this is what I saw, this is what I heard, this is
And
what
that's
yeah.
There's a certain amount of now. This couple that's on the line right now. Phil, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Now, Phil.
I'm riding solo.
Okay. Now, the conversation we're having today is along the line of, see, you and your wife work together in the same business. Got it?
Yes.
And as we talk to you and hear more about what's going on with this conversation, then we'll be able to develop something. But you guys work together. The conversation of the day is if you're with somebody that's not even in the same business of you, but you know you've got a relationship going on, right? What is too much as far as being involved? You know, sometimes you like to hang out, red carpet, just to be there to back somebody's play. But at what time? We're just trying to find out from the different women giving their opinion on what time or what level is the involvement going from basically I care about you, you know, we're together and I'm kind of looking at, to where it's trying to get in their nose a little too deep in business that may not be theirs. It's a slippery slope. and we've heard 3 different comments from 3 different ladies here. Linda's here, Miss M's here, and Von True's here, and it's been a very lively conversation. So, guys, we're here with Phil and him and his wife Lisa came in last week talking about the freedom movement that they're doing, so to speak, with Nick Cannon coming up. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you and your wife, I know you're into the business, but there's been times I know starting at whatever to where you had a business you were doing. Now, when is too much of involvement in somebody else's part of the business? Phil, if you can answer that for me right quick.
Well, I think the fast answer, probably the most politically correct, as far as the spouse desires you to be involved in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to figure out from that place if you're okay with that or how to be okay with that, both of you.
Gotcha.
Because I think if that's the place that you're trying to be, you'll eventually, those boundaries will probably begin to increase as you develop that kind of relationship where you respect that, so that's my first thought on that. But I can understand how that can be a very, very slippery slope, if you will.
Yeah. No, that's true, Diggs. That's what we're trying to iron out. But like I said, with you and your wife, you have a good working relationship in what you're doing. So I know that you're, able to, because people out there listening, they're looking for something to hang on to in conversation, right? And when they see something that's along the lane of what they're walking through, they're like, wait a second, I'm going to listen to this because it makes sense because I'm going through that right now, And so I'm just saying, I don't know what it looks like. You're right. I like the way that you defined it like that. Because if you have a good understanding with your significant other and everybody knows the placement on the seating chart, then you don't have to worry about somebody just getting out of their lane.
Yes. That is, what you said, the key word, staying in your lane. And
Exactly.
that's a difficult thing to do.
Yeah. Oh.
Stay in your lane and to respect those boundaries. But that, I think, when you get to that place, then that's where the relationship will continue to evolve and grow. And, I'm not going to pretend that me and my wife don't get into our issues, being in each other's, what we perceive to be our lane.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's where, if that couple can really define early on,
Mm-hmm.
what is their lane? What do they want to do and be and create within that business structure?
Mm-hmm.
And if they agree to that, then you have some defined parameters that you can both kind of work from and work to try to get to.
And that's all in there because, like I say, that makes very much sense. Now, if I can ask, how long have you and your wife been together?
Oh, we've been together 15 years now.
Okay, got you. And so, we're all levels of being like Linda's. We just should celebrate her anniversary, and she's been 25 years. And so, and she's saying basically the same thing. Saying just gotta because they're two ends of the spectrums. He's an egghead. To the fullest. One of them techies to the fullest. Okay. And so I could understand watching that relationship. So I've been around you guys for like 20 years, and so I know. It's really smooth, and I also talked to Monica, that's my business partner, to try to figure out people's relationships and like, wow, that's strong. How do they do that when it seems like they're two different sides of a book? And some people do it and do it well. Like Linda, you guys do it and do it well. And that's a question people are going to want to find out, or how it happens.
That's knowing when to stay back, because you can't always jump into somebody else's business if you don't know anything about the business. You are aware of what your wife or your husband's doing, but you don't know the business savvy of it. You don't know what's required, what's legal, what's not legal. You don't know what's appropriate for that particular business because you're not in that world.
Right.
And so for you to come in and have input to that messes up that person's business because you don't know what you're talking about, because you're coming from a different perspective that maybe works in your own business. So you have to learn how to work separately and equal at the same time.
I got that. What is it?
And I think you need to really really be able to support.
She's going to go next.
Is someone else?
You have Kimmel and Lewis.
Yeah, that's Lisa's on the with
Oh,
Phil and his wife are there.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No,
Oh, okay.
No, we're on.
No, I was going to say you can be in the same business or different businesses, but I think what you need and what I think I have is he supports me in my business in the sense of where I need him, where I may ask him. Like I said, he's a technical person. I don't have to go outside for technology. I need a printer. I need this. I need that. Or can I do this? Or what's wrong with that? He supports me in that. In addition to that, he knows what I do. And at one time, I was traveling a lot. And so he would support that. He didn't have to go with me, but he knew I'd be gone. I'd have a calendar. I'll be gone from here to here, and I'll be doing this, and this is where I'll be, and whatever. So the support is important. I think that's for me. That's the most important thing. Is it's the support.
No, I got you. And it just needed, Vaughn, you didn't change your whole perspective. You had the hand on it, and you took it down or whatever. So what you got?
Nah, I'm just listening, to all the different perspectives. I'm not at the stage of marriage yet, so I gotta take it in. But what I do also understand is my answer has yet to change.
Right, no, I got you.
It's the fact of it's really taking each other's strong suits and emphasizing upon them in the relationship and in the business.
Right.
So it's a really good balance for each other.
I love it, that balance. Now, Lisa, you there? Phil, you there?
No, I'm here, but Lisa, as you know, we have a major event coming up in 1 week.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
She has her hands totally full.
Okay.
So you have me today.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that. The event like that. You guys working together. That's a good thing. So let's talk about the event right quick.
D-Nice.
Yes, sir.
Brother D-Nice. I'm sorry, Lisa. She's close enough. We're going to patch her in. Let me just kind of transition. You may not be able to talk to both of us, but you can get her.
Okay.
She is. I'm moving to her right now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Guys, we've got Lisa and Phil on the line. They're going to talk about something to do. There's a movement going on. Hey, Miss Lisa, how are you? How are you?
Oh, I am great, DJ D-Nice. I was trying to see if there was a way that I could actually go live and listen to the radio show. So as Philip is talking, but I'm just taking care of some back office stuff for the event. And I heard a pretty interesting conversation, and I wish I was hearing the other side of that.
Oh, I got you. No, but like I said, for the future, we tell people always that you can go into ktym.media, and it'll give you, when it comes up on that page, it'll say replay, and you hit right there, and it gives you the live feed on it. But the conversation we got in today was, how do you support your partner without crossing the line of meddling? That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. So I've got Ms. Von True's been here, Ms. Sims is here, and Linda's here in the studio. It's been a pretty lively conversation on that one there. Now, I know in this perspective here, you and your husband basically are working in the same perspective.
Yes.
And that's good. So go ahead.
Well, I love the conversation that you're having right now, because, the part that leaped out to me is when you said without meddling. And I think without meddling, you first have to make sure that you have a full understanding of where your partner is coming from. And because I think most often, I don't think most people end up meddling, which is really, to me, like getting into someone's side of their lane or in their business intentionally. I think half the time it's because you didn't really listen, or you didn't really fully understand the depths of, the passion or the excitement. So, I'll give an example. Say, for example, I've decided that I wanted to redo my closet, and I'm engaged in doing that, and the way in which I get my husband's support in doing that is number one, he needs to clearly understand why that's very important to me and why I'm passionate about it, and then he can get behind it. But often I think we just stumble because like right now I'm trying to take care of back office things, and he's trying to split his hair and do this radio show because we just love what you're doing over there.
Thank you.
But I think a part of that happens because we're just not taking the time to clearly understand. And then once you have an understanding, the other part of that coin is trust. It's trust. If you trust what, even if you don't think I need to redo my closet, but you trust that if it's important to me, there must be a reason why I need to do it, then that's the way that I think you really strengthen and you don't stumble into that area.
I love it. And the movement that you guys are working together on is a very good movement. So let's take some time and talk about that. Got something going. And first and foremost, thank you very much. We've been giving out tickets along the way, and we finally got a couple. And I wanted today, we were able to bring in Mr. and Mrs. Charles Norman for winning the tickets that we're getting ready, that we've given away today. Those were the tickets going in. So congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Norman, on that one. Okay, Charles Norman. So go ahead and tell us about what's going on. Tell people what they'll be missing, or those that are going, what they'll be seeing.
Well, on August 16th at the Skirball Cultural Center, we are having a wonderful, amazing event, 400 years of African American history, and that event is starting there at 6 p.m. with a VIP reception, but at 7:30 is when the main program is starting. And I can just tell you, we are going to have a theatrical experience for people. We're going to, have tributes to those, unsung heroes. Amelia Boynton is going to be honored that night, who was the mother of the Voting Rights Act, the matriarch. And it's going to be an exciting night. We're going to have special guests in the house. We're going to have a past, present, and future conversation of 400 years for African Americans being in this country, and that's going to be happening by civil rights icons that can, really speak on the past and speak on the present. But then they're going to give us advice of where we go for the next future 400 years. And we've still got some tickets left on Eventbrite. So if you're interested in tickets, definitely you can, if you're tech savvy, you can go to 99158 and text the word FLAME. Again, that's 99158 and text the word FLAME. That's FLAME. Because we're trying to create torchbearers and ambassadors and set this world on fire. But then also you will be missing that we are not just celebrating 400 years of African American history, but on the incredible, which is Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is calling upon community ambassadors, and that's people like yourselves and like me and my husband, and we partnered with him. But also he's calling upon his peers, entertainers, football players, to join him in us commemorating, celebrating, and then rebuilding our community. So it's definitely going to be a movement. It's going to be a night of celebration. And again, go to Eventbrite and just, Google the Amelia Boynton tribute, put it in, and put in Skirball, put in the 400, however you cross-reference it. Call this beautiful radio station to get more information, or just text 99158. And thank you, D. Nice, for allowing me to really continue to let people know what's happening here in L.A. at the Skirball Cultural Center on August 16th.
We look forward to seeing you there. We thank you for explaining this mission to us, because it's a movement. And so that's what it is. When you get involved with a movement, man, you go places. Other than that, it's just a bunch of rhetoric. And I am so, like I was talking to Monica, we were coming down here looking at some of the things, because her company is a supporter of a lot of different things going on in the LA and surrounding area. Her company is part of the major sponsors for the Long Beach Jazz Festival this weekend, which I won't be on, unfortunately, to go, but you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, certain things like that, you've got to sit back and see where the movement is. That jazz movement in LA is no joke. You know what I'm saying? And it's sweeping. It's down to San Diego. It's now really going back to the East Coast too, because I don't know too many just straight. I mean, they got a lot of straight ahead jazz clubs back east, but now they got the smooth jazz movement that's been intertwining now. And I'm telling you,
And that's
I can
part of our
feed.
history.
Yeah, I can feed off of smooth jazz all day long. You know what I'm saying? It keeps me sane. So I appreciate. Go
Well,
ahead.
D Nice, I just wanted to share that when you said that, there's also going to be some jazz happening there, and I'm a jazz fan, so if I'm involved in an event, smooth jazz and jazz is always going to be present, because that's also is a very huge part of our heritage and our culture over 400 years
Right.
in this country is music.
Yep.
That's
and-
the base for all of our music.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it soothes that savage beast, you know what I'm saying? So you got to have us calm. Otherwise, we done tore up something. You know what I'm saying? 4 years of oppression, sometimes it's kind of hard to keep it kind of bent in the right direction. But it's good to be able to work with folks that you guys are doing a movement. So as long as they're stuck on moving this machine ahead in the right direction, it can cool things down, because we got a lot of rhetoric in this country, and it's being more tolerated now than it's ever been in any point in history. And so we need to come together and show that we can take the high road, the high ground. We've been doing it for a long time, and that's, I guess, what scares folk about what we do. You know what I'm saying? We're able to take some of the crazy situations and cool them down and turn them right. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
indeed.
that's what we do.
Yes,
God
indeed.
knows what he did when he put us together. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes,
no,
indeed.
I appreciate you coming through. And the crew's going to be, I'm looking at everybody, we're going to all be there. We want to join you there and see you there. All the ladies
Oh,
are saying,
that's
hey.
great.
Von True's here. You say, hey, Von True.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you, Miss Lisa?
Hi. Hey, Miss Linda. Hey, Miss Von True.
Hey.
Hi, Queen. I tell you, that king must be sitting up on a high throne to have a room full of queens like him right
Wow.
now. I'm telling you. And you know what? And I'm going to tell you, the kingdom is going to be full and rich on August 16th at the Skirball Cultural Center, because I'm telling you, I believe we're going to have a purple light that just emanates, from that mountaintop right there, from that Skirball Cultural Center, because of all of our beauty and our unity and us coming together to, celebrate and commemorate our 400 years of being kidnapped and enslaved and brought into this country. And we are such a resilient people, and we've accomplished so much, and it is just so wonderful to be a part of a movement of us coming together to unify, to project what we want for the next 400 years. So I can tell you there's going to be some real treats, and I can just tell anyone who's listening, please go to Eventbrite and just get your tickets for the Amelia Boynton tribute. Go to 99158, text that and the word flame. It'll take you right to the Eventbrite ticket site, and come and get your tickets, because if you show up trying to buy tickets, there are no tickets sold at the door. We are not selling tickets at the door. So I want the audience to understand that you have a chance before August 16th to get your tickets on Eventbrite. But that day, everyone who comes, I'm going to tell you, we are going to leave with something to take back to our communities, because we're going to become torchbearers of this torch, and we're going to become ambassadors in our community and across this nation to get the work done. So I want to thank you for your time. I'm looking forward to seeing the team there. And thank you so much for this opportunity. We really do appreciate it. Gateway, an incredible family.
I appreciate you. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank them again, because they're the ones that provided the tickets, the giveaway tickets for today that were won by Mr. and Mrs. Charles Norman. Congratulations to the Normans. Their face will be in the place there, thanks to Miss Lisa and Phil.
Congratulations to the Normans. You have won the lottery. I can tell you that, because yes, you're going to enjoy yourselves that night, and I'm looking forward to hopefully, D Nice will be able to identify you, and we'll get to take pictures with you on the step and repeat, and just get a chance to meet you. I love it. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for being there. We appreciate you anytime. And like I said, this is a movement, so even after the candy's gone, we'll be able to sit back and do some shows together and come on the television show and talk about the movement. And that's what we do here each and every week at the Gospel Jazz Connection. Well, thank you once again. Tell Phil I said look forward to seeing him. And thank you guys for taking the time of your day for us today, all right?
And I will do that, and thank you so much, because we're family now.
Yes,
so,
we are.
You know, when, like family, you get gum on your shoe, you can't get rid of it. and we are like gum on your shoe, so we're family now.
That's right. I appreciate you. So we'll talk to you real soon, all right? Thanks for calling in.
All right, thank you. All right, peace and blessings.
All right, God
Bye-bye.
bless.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, folks, as we do at the Gospel Jazz Connection, man, we just sit there and just chop it up real tight. And we got Brian Crobelson in the background chilling. So, ladies, we done had a good time today. So, what we're going to do, we're going to go back over here and start with a girl, Von True here. Let me bring this back up here. So, let me see it here. Okay, we're going to bring this back here. And let's go here for a second and talk about what we learned for today with you guys, okay? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, yeah, let's do that. So, start over here, Vaughn. Let's talk about some closing thoughts on your side, and you're sticking to it. We already know you're sticking to it. So, let's get some closing thoughts on that.
And yeah, it's really just like know yourself, know your partner, know where people's positions are, have that trust factor, and a mutual understanding of where you are currently and where you want to go.
Wow, that's profound. See out of the mouth of babes. I didn't want to say that, but I had to. That's biblically, okay? Yeah. Young lady, thank you very much. Okay, let's go over here to Ms. Linda. And here she is right here. Linda, go ahead and tell us what you tell us.
Yeah, well, I agree. Know yourself and be willing to negotiate those boundaries, because for me, it is the relationship with my husband that's important, separate from the business. So it's not like it's in a mixing bowl and they're all mixed up together, because sometimes he'll have challenges in his business and he'll talk to me about it, or I'll have challenges in mine. But then we don't forget about the relationship as a separate entity, and it doesn't really have anything to do with either business. It's, our commitment to each other to making that relationship work. So I think you have to know the boundaries, what you're willing to accept, what each person is willing to put into the relationship outside of all that other stuff. And I think that's what makes it last, because he knows that I'm concerned.
Right,
and,
right.
and I can show concern without
Right.
getting all up in it, and vice
Yeah.
versa.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Miss M, let's see what you got to say.
I would say stay in your own lane if that's not your profession. Stay in your lane and not in his lane or her lane. And I think you should work those issues out before you even take it to a relationship. If you know you're going to be insecure in this type of relationship, don't even go down that path, because there are certain requirements in entertainment. They have to be out all night. They have to be gone for weeks at a time on tour. You may not be able to go because you have a job or you have a career of your own, but you have to have that trust. I keep hearing trust from everybody in here. You have to have that trust value there. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
And yeah, that's a very factual scenario.
Yeah,
Trust.
And if
Go
you
ahead.
know you, Dee, if you know you, and that doesn't work for you, that's not the relationship.
No,
Exactly.
no,
Stay
it's
away
not.
from
Yeah.
it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, because everybody's different.
Right,
And
right, right.
I don't think it's a one size fit all.
No, it's
But
not.
you have to know
not.
what fits you,
Right.
and then that person that you're dealing with, you can negotiate it,
Yeah.
but give and take a little bit. But I don't know if anybody can go through a metamorphosis and just completely change who they are.
No.
Right.
Yeah,
No.
that would be difficult. You could do that for a period of time, but it won't be long before the real person
Yeah,
shows up.
yeah,
They will come out.
yeah. We see that every day with the guys coming out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you meet the representative. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're represented something else.
What they call that, the honeymoon stage, that honeymoon.
Yes, indeed.
Honeymoon's
At
over.
home, honeymoon's over.
Yeah, then the truth comes
Then
out.
the truth comes out.
Yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, we told you this is what we do each and every week at Gospel Jazz Connection, and we take the time to give you scenarios, situations, problems, or just conversational pieces. And with that, we turn around and come with different solutions. I mean, we're not saying that it's one stop or one size fits all or one catch. It's not, because as individual as everybody is, they hear things different. They communicate different. They induce things different. And they think differently. So as long as we give you some food for thought, you take it and you glean out of that what works for you, what fits your personality, what fits your style and your swag, and you make it yours. But meantime, in between time, this is how the Gospel Jazz Connection gets down each and every week. And my panelists are no joke. So in saying that, we're going to be ready to meet again next week with new conversations, new situations, and new ways for you to think on how to make your life more perfect for you. So for Miss M, for Linda, for Von True, for Lady D, who's going to get well real soon and come and be a part again in our entertainment aspect of it, from Miss Germany, our prayers are for you. And for everybody out there that is called in trying to get tickets, you better go on Eventbrite and get your tickets before all the other tickets are gone. Okay? Because you heard what Lisa said, there's no tickets at the door. So make sure you support this movement. You got to do that. In the meantime, between time, I'd like to thank Lisa and Phil for coming on and talking about this movement. 400 years. That's a long time, but it's also a short time. But we got to get it together. So this is D-Nice saying, until we meet again, put God first, and everything else will follow. I guarantee it.